Hi guys, welcome back to Keep Evolving Season 2. We are on episode 13 and we are so grateful to always have you guys watching and commenting and sharing, and everything that you guys do is really a blessing to us. So thank you so much. So today on the panel, I have two of our frequent guests. They're not even guests. You can call them hosts as well. So to my right, there's Benjamin Kishohi. And to my left, there's Jackie Wegoki. Karibuni sana.
Asante sana.
All right, so today, what I'd like us to talk about and what we'd like to engage you people in talking about is the syndrome of I am not enough. I think that's what is also referred to as imposter syndrome, yeah? I am not enough, I am not enough, I am not enough. This is something that we either feel or say or both. You know, sometimes we just feel it, but we don't air it. But sometimes we say it. Sometimes it's both, and it's just a lot that goes on in our head. So, first things first. Where does this thing even come from, Jackie?
Thank you, Joanne. I think one of the places or areas where we have picked this I'm not enough could be in our childhood, our experiences. So you find that when you're growing up, maybe somebody made a statement, and I'll give an example in an academic class where you may not be doing as great as in a certain subject, or even generally school, because that's a different field from where you're gifted. You're gifted maybe in sports, in recreation, outside of class. So you find because you are not maybe as well acquainted for the academics, you started feeling that those who are better than you. Not realizing that because the fact that you're a child, you may not realize that actually even being great outside there, like during football or playtime, is equally great. So those could be some of the things that our encounters as young children, now we start picking it and grow with it, feeling that for me, I'm not as good as Joanne. Because Joanne gets all the A's and she gets all the marks in class. And for me, it's the other way.
So we see that one of the places is our growing up, like how we grew up and everything. What else would you have to say about it?
I'd say sometimes it comes when you're an adult, well affirmed, like well brought up. You've grown up in a place that gave you all the affirmations you could use. But then, as life progresses, you find yourself in very new grounds, in places that you feel inadequate. In careers, in maybe you're doing a degree, and every time something is mentioned, you're like, I know I chose this thing, but I don't know. In your career, maybe now you're in an environment that you consistently feel out of breath from things that you're having to do. You're feeling like you're either biting off too much or you're expecting too much from yourself. Even not even the other people. Let's leave the boss out for a while, but you're actually feeling that probably I am in too deep over my, like it's way over my head, and that is something very personal. As an adult, this is for people who didn't pick it up from growing up. But now you're in a career that you feel like every time you walk into your corner office with a view, and you're feeling, I am not sure that this is me.
It's almost like you're dreaming.
Yes, you're in that place where you're either expecting way too much from yourself, or you're actually feeling the pressure of the expectation from others. It could also come from a place of consistent pressure from other people. Those around you. Your boss has nothing good to say about what you do. And from within, you're feeling that you've stretched yourself to the maximum capacity you can. So if someone put the question to you, do you think you are actually giving your best? Your answer would be yes. But then again, your yes is like, if I say yes, then I'm not qualified for this place, or they wouldn't pick me on a normal day. If then I have given my all, then I'm not the person for this place. And then you begin to feel that you are not enough.
Okay.
And I feel like, to add to what Benjamin is saying, the pressure. It's worth noting, teenage is a time of a lot of peer pressure. And I want, not just teenage, but I know it also happens in adult. But now where friends really mean a lot. So I think that's also another time when the influence could be so high that you're comparing yourself.
Yes.
I am comparing myself with you as teenagers. And I'm thinking, for example, maybe you have the loud personality.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this personality is a way to go.
Yeah, so I'm trying my best to be
Yes.
that.
So you're a sanguine who is always so vocal. I am the melancholies who are quiet, and I'm always looking at Joanne and comparing and saying, I wish I was as loud as Joanne.
Yeah.
Because she seems to pull the crowd, not realizing that actually even the melancholy I have my own potential as a melancholy.
Yeah.
So those are all the dynamics of I am not enough, and
Alright.
we carry it to our adult.
That is true.
Unconsciously sometimes.
That is true.
Yeah.
I like that you have brought up the topic on comparison, because this is something I feel is almost the foundation of every imposter syndrome that shows up in our lives. It is just because you compared yourself to someone. If there was no one else in the equation, you probably would not be feeling inadequate in most cases. So let's talk about comparison. Sometimes, as we have heard, it's something that has come from ever since you were a kid. You are compared to your siblings, or to the neighbor's kid who got an A, or to someone somewhere, or sometimes it's in your adult years you are just compared to say still maybe your siblings, or you're compared to your workmates in the office. It's like this person does this. So how do we go about this aspect of comparison? What do we do about this? Because this is like the place where all these things come from.
First and foremost, I think every parent owes it to their children. Let me begin with the parents. We owe it to our children to not compare them to other children.
Yeah.
To not compare them to their siblings. You compare it all the much you want inside your heart, but please let it not be something you voice. It begins as small as, why can't you be like your brother?
Yeah.
Why can you not be like your sister? Then it goes louder to, why are you not like so and so in the neighborhood? And borrowing from like my growing up, I would have people having a problem with me because now you are the guy we are told to be like. And
so now everybody just
I would also
feels...
have a problem with my parents when they ask me, why can't you be like,
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with my parents and going like, no, I don't think I want to be like them, because I apparently knew the person better than they did, and they were not people who I would want to emulate.
Yeah.
I would want anybody's child to emulate. And in the society they look like, wow, this is the child. This is the child to be like. Like if I was a child again, nataka kuwa kama huyu mtoto. But you see, what that creates is pressure.
And a mindset.
And a mindset.
Yeah.
So if that is the person to beat,
you're always trying to beat them.
You're always you're in a competition against, say, if I'm told to always be like Jackie, I'm in a competition with Jackie that she has no idea about.
Yeah.
So Jackie gets a new outfit and I'm feeling, I need to look for mine. Jackie does something, Jackie begins to do her masters, and I'm like, I am late.
Mine. Yeah.
Jackie starts working on her PhD, I am late. If I start my PhD before Jackie, I'm feeling, yes. You know what?
Yes.
I've made it.
He has not even thought of PhD. Here I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe Jackie never thought of PhD. Or they never thought of, anything. So here I am celebrating because I competed against someone and something that there was no competition about.
Yeah.
So comparison brings on this competition that is very one-sided. That is one. It brings a pressure that is very one-sided. I wouldn't want to be in a place where I have pressure that is not mine. It belongs to others. When the teacher walks into class and goes like, why can't you all be like so and so? They are consistent, they have their A, they have this. You're out there, you're playing nini. Also in high school, I was a rugby player.
Hey, it must be nice to be you.
And well, as much as it feels like must be nice, but on the retrospect, some comments that came off of it were, you're doing the wrong thing, Like, why can't you be the person who wants the books?
Yes.
And the guy who is in books comes to the field and goes like, how are you able to do these things? So on one side, I'm on top. But on the other side, I'm on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you see that competition, you can imagine the kind of turmoil that now it has created. This person wishes they were this person, and this person wishes they were that person. So we have children, or we have teenagers, we have adults, young adults, young professionals, or even adults
Yeah.
who are in consistent competition. Neighbor bought a new car.
Yeah.
Mine is growing old. Hey, neighbor's children got to go to camp. Where can we take our children to camp? So it's a consistent competition for nothing. I don't think there's anything.
There's no reward actually. There's just nothing.
Yeah.
What would you?
And maybe it also kills creativity.
It does, yeah.
Because you see, as you kill people's gifts. Because I am so inclined, I want to be like Benjamin, for example, in class. But I don't realize that the rugby can be nurtured. It really becomes something that will now lift me up. In fact, as Benjamin was talking, I was even thinking about the way we have this mindset about, like initially there was this mindset about the careers to take. And we want to almost force that people need to be inclined to a certain career. Again, the comparison thing. Because he's in ministry, I want to be in ministry, and possibly that's not my call. So you'll find there's this saying that it takes so long before you find that even though you are walking, you are going up, you are leaning against the wrong ladder. It takes you so long to discover that this ladder I've been climbing is not the correct one. I have to come back down
and start my own.
That takes even longer. And so if you are in a competition, just
the
imagine,
other person is going even.
So they finished their PhD, and this is when you are discovering. The only reason I took my MBA is because they took their MBA, but I'm not cut out for this MBA. I would have been better off taking something else. Even if it's just excelling in academia, I would have been better off taking this, like furthering on my line of profession than taking an MBA. And those small competitions are what is driving that I am not enough thing.
That is true.
Because you're competing against the other guy who got the other corner office with a better view. You think like they have a better view than yours. Or finally, I'm in the corner office. The entire view is mine. But suddenly, because now there is nothing to compete against, I feel inadequate. Because I have thrived on competition all the way up my ladder.
So now there's nothing.
I have thrived on competition, and suddenly here I am. I am expected to lead a team of 15 people, 20 people, 30 people. And I'm feeling all through, I have not been the person who has been in the leadership. I have been the person who has been in the 30 people or in the 20 people, competing against to be the leader. Here you are. Mr. Vice President of the company, Mr. Deputy CEO. You are the leader of the team. What next? Who will you compete against? Oh, Mr. CEO, you've made it to the top. And the competition is now over. So suddenly 2 weeks later, you want to quit your job because it's unfulfilling, it's all those other
because
things.
Your fulfillment used to come from the competition. And wow, that's really interesting. I have a friend of mine who likes to say a certain phrase that we are graced different. And as we take a break, I'd just like us to think about that phrase. You are graced different. Don't go away.
Nice.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. When we left, we talked about being graced different. And as we come back, we'd like to just get into another area of the I am not enough imposter syndrome, whatever you call it, which is the physical appearance part. Because we've talked about it in the context of skill. We've talked about it in the context of abilities and skill and everything. And we'd like to talk about it in it's a very personal place. It's a very painful place sometimes, but let's just talk about it. What comes to your mind when you think about, the physical appearance being something that makes you feel inadequate? Because it is sometimes for some people. Jackie.
All right. Well, I must say, at one point or another, I guess there will be a time when we'll feel inadequate. Again, because of the comparison. And maybe picking it from my experience is that, like when you get to teenage, I remember in high school, how many times you would feel like this is the correct shape, this is how somebody should appear, maybe this is how the hair should be, this is how the size that they should be. And most of the time, for example, let me say, the media also hypes it. You start feeling that there's a specific way people must look.
Need to look
I start feeling I need to look like this. So I start working on myself to be able to look like so and so. So comparison is always what drives us to many of these things. And again, because as we were growing up, we created mindsets that Joanne looks better than me because she looks like she's more of what they keep talking about, for example, on media. You see, and you grow with that and you're struggling. And there are times I ask myself, now this is according to who?
Whose theory is
yes,
this?
because you see, this was somebody who came up and felt like, for example, to be a model, you have to be, I remember they used to say 36, 24.
I can't even.
I used to hear something like that when I was growing up.
Wow.
And you're like, see, at the end of the day, this was somebody's thought, just like you, like him. We sit together and agree, I think this is how it should be. And so we are so focused on that, and our mindset are set that is the correct way to look. Again, as you are growing up, you feel like it is really nice to be tall. And we look at people who are short like us and we feel I'm inadequate. I wish I was slightly taller than I think these are the struggles of every day.
American height.
Yes, the American height. And we don't realize again that we can actually today decide this is the correct.
Imagine,
and hype it. Sure. That is not to say that we don't acknowledge that yes, there are some careers that now, like the modeling. Look at the air hostesses. How many times you had been told you had to be this slim to become a air hostess? But these days, I mean, you have seen some of them are still a bit weighty and still look good. So I think those are some of the struggles that have come also because of somebody, influencers also influenced us to think in a certain way.
Is this the same thing when it comes to the men?
Tall, dark, handsome.
Oh Lord.
It's a struggle. Sisi ma light skin tulifaa tukae tuma
Guy single.
because the standard, the world, unfortunately world standard is tall, dark, handsome. So if you're not 5'9", kuendelea. If you are not dark and built, and you know, so you can imagine how many men. The world over, the average height of men is 5'6", average. So you can imagine guys who are 4 feet, you know, 4 feet 2, 4 feet 5. Guys who are 5 feet, and you know, dwarfism is anything 4 feet and under. So if you are just 4'1", you're not a dwarf, but you can imagine how high you are. You consistently feel, you know, like, God, why me? You know, why me?
I wish.
People are called simple things at home. Ebu nitolee ile kitu iko pale juu.
You can't.
And nobody is calling you for it. Na kuna stool ya kukanyaga. And or you're 5'5", and so you're not exactly here or there. You're not tall. You're not short. So height becomes something. You know, complexion becomes something that, you know. How many guys in campus right now, nawajua, mwenye wako gym, not because of anything. They're not trying to keep fit or anything.
No.
But because they were like 6-pack, you know?
And abs.
Wacha nitengeneze shati. Anyway, you're just trying to get your abs, you know, because that is the standard that the world has put for the ladies to look at. And that's a big deal. You know, talk of guys who suffer from acne. And the creams you guys are using,
Wow.
And I think in Form 2, Form 3, I had acne all over my face, and that beat me up. Because you're the color that people want. You know, like you go out for funkies, and you know, all the girls are all over you. Like you're the right color. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you have to pop a pimple or two every other morning. You know, because you're feeling like, and that begins to cause you to, you know, have esteem issues. And unfortunately, this is such a normal thing during adolescence. When you're 13, 14, 15, and even 16, sometimes even up to 18, your face, even for ladies, your face just breakouts. Like, you popped 3 yesterday, today you have to pop 7. You know, they are all over. And you consistently feel that this is not the right face. No, this is not how I should be. You know, this is not the right build. I would imagine having conversations with my lady friends and figures coming out. Like your figure is refusing. You know, your bust size has refused to come, and your classmates. People are wearing bras. You know, like you ask your mom to buy you a bra, and they're like, for what?
True.
And sometimes it's actually that comment that will make you start to feel like, wow, okay.
So when girls are asked to stand up, you can't stand up. Like, they ask you for what?
on the reverse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine is hook up.
Yeah.
So when I stand,
You
I'm
have
like
to
That
this.
height.
Covering.
Yeah, we actually had so many scenarios of people who ended up having carved,
Yes.
structure because of
3-4 years of just the wrong posture. you're
Yeah,
done. Like,
yeah.
the amount of chiropractors you have to go and see to just correct your posture
Mm.
because someone did a comment, or the world expects you to be a certain height. Like, imagine, for the American height is what, 5'7" for ladies and at least 5'9" for the dudes. So you can imagine so you can imagine how much people have to deal with. Like, you walk into a place and everyone is looking at you like, why are you so short?
Yeah.
You know, why? And that begins to get to you, and you feel like, when they call tall people, I can't stand up because I am short. And just going back to high school and rugby and remembering someone who went to, just have a conversation with a lady, it's like, it's high school. You chat up with people and of course you score something. You are a rugby player and you all this confidence in you.
Yeah.
And it's after the game in your boots and your kit and you're thinking, hey, every girl wants to talk to a rugby player. And you go to talk to a lady and they go like, excuse me, I don't talk to short people. Hey, I'm not responsible for my height. Like, God has given us in our different, and it's such a big deal, especially in teenage and in young adults.
Yeah.
It's such a big deal how our body looks. Yeah.
And I think the other day I was asking, I wonder how long it lasts, because you're like, sometimes they say the good thing about, like, now as ladies, when you get to 40, 45, you start realizing, okay,
Whatever.
I am yes.
Yeah.
And maybe you would need to bring ladies to tell you that there's a place it gets, and you're like, okay, we
Yeah.
are all good, and
Yeah.
that confidence. But I'm just thinking in terms of now, even as he talks about our us as adults, there are times, you sit back. He had mentioned it earlier, like if it comes to what the mindset had been set, what mindset I have, and I'm thinking, I need to look like Joanne, and I will do all
Whatever
sorts
it
of
takes.
things,
Yeah.
whatever it takes to be like Joanne. And it's so frustrating. That's the word I was looking for. The level of frustration, how frustrating it can get. Think about a mom who has just given birth. I mean,
Yeah.
these are some of the struggles even I had to go through. You have been a size 8 and all of a sudden you've gotten the baby, and there you shoot almost to double the size.
16 is coming.
And you meet people and they tell you, you have become big.
Oh my goodness.
To a lady, the minute you say you have become big,
It's over.
They don't hear that.
gosh, they don't hear you have
Just
become
here, I
big.
look bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it can be so frustrating. Now here, of course, your body has changed because of the process.
Yeah.
But it's, for some ladies, yes, it's easier for them than others too. But you cannot go back because there was a change that happened. And so you find the extremes to which sometimes we'll go to in pursuit of that size that I was.
Yeah.
Again, it comes with
Or the
its
correct
own,
size,
yes,
What
the
is- yeah.
idealized size.
Yes.
It comes with really a lot of both the negatives, yes, or maybe some positive, but it can really get. I think that's what we are getting to. What are some of the effects now of this I am not enough?
Yeah. Because I feel like there are, as we mentioned when we were starting, there are standards that have been set by people, by men and women. It's not even standards set by God. They are standards that we've just set for ourselves, and every single time people are, as you said, hitting the gym, spending money, buying all sorts of things. And even if you check your YouTube, I don't know if it's been happening to you guys, but for some reason sometimes I'm watching a YouTube video and an advert comes telling me how to lose weight. I'm like, what do you mean? I've not been looking for such content.
Who told you I am
mean?
fat?
I am okay. And you see, for some people, just that will begin to make them feel like, wow, okay.
Even
I
Google
actually
knows.
even Google has been seeing
Yes.
that I need to do something. What are some of the effects that you have probably even gone through as a person, or had people around you, going through?
I think one of the interesting ones that I had to do was, at some point I stopped looking at myself because of the comments people would make. You're like, let me not. You tell yourself, I don't look good.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
not
already
as good.
decided.
Yeah, and then it is formed so much in the mind, in the heart, until I'm like, then I would rather not look at myself
Yeah.
At all.
because
Yeah.
I don't want to see myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So image issues.
Image issues became an issue, especially now teenage time. You're like, okay, I would rather not go to a mirror. So for me, anytime I would avoid a mirror. Wow. Yes.
What was it?
Esteem. You know, like your esteem takes a beating.
Yeah.
It is practically non-existent. Because here you are. You've been told to grow tall, eat your bones, so eat calcium. So you're over there, unakunywa supu. You need calcium in your body. And people are growing tall in your class and you're short. People hit the gym and within one term, one semester, people have their abs structured. You still have your one pack, and you're wondering, ni mimi niko na shida ama ni shida inanipenda. And you know, esteem just takes a dive.
Yeah.
Just like Jackie has said, image. You know, I don't know whether people wore baggy clothes because
that's true.
Your wardrobe is just like 3-4 sizes bigger because you don't want anyone to, and people get to know you as someone who's just like that.
Yeah.
So nobody ever comes to body shame you or even make a good comment. Maybe you've been going to the gym and your biceps are looking good, but the shirt is 17 sizes bigger, so nobody can see.
Yeah.
You don't let people come up close to you or become too personal. Like even your siblings can't hug you because you feel like this is not the kind of body I want.
Yeah.
So even when someone actually compliments you, like in the gym, you're definitely in a t-shirt, and sometimes you're lifting your weight and your bicep will be seen, and someone compliments you and you're feeling like, you've seen my struggle, so you're just trying to encourage me.
You're just trying to make me feel good, and that's the truth.
So guys have torn their muscles, guys have torn ligaments and can't return to the gym. Guys have gotten injuries, just trying to acquire a certain a certain look, a certain place.
Because the motivation has now changed from fitness to I need to be like.
No, you're competing against a standard by I don't know who, and it's taking your esteem out. And so when you come in to compensate, it takes a toll on you because anything negative you need to compensate. The drive to compensate. The other way is you actually all together become depressed.
That's
you
true.
leave the gym, you stop
just
seeing those
forget
friends.
everything.
I mean, I've been gymming for the last 1 year, and the best you can say is, hey, you look okay. I've been slaving for okay.
Just okay.
Been slaving for okay. Or imagine you've been jogging and someone said hey, you look big. Hey, COVID imekufavor, you're glowing, and you're not hearing glowing, you're feeling like your cheeks have
puffed up.
And so you go like, I will jog every morning. And after 6 months of jogging, someone goes like, hey, you're still glowing. You're like, what?
Like all along I tried.
And you've actually lost like 3 kilos or even 4 kilos. And you're like, I went to all that trouble for that kind of comment it's better.
Forget it.
And it sends you back to a place that is worse than where you came from.
Terrible even.
So those places.
Wow. As you're speaking, I'm just thinking about we've talked about effects and everything. And so I was just thinking about how, for me, I remember growing up, I was a very, 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 very big kid. I was a very big kid. And I remember sometimes I'd be laughed at because my mom used to be very cautious about my weight. So my uniform used to be different from everyone else's uniform because I did not have a waistline. I was told I did not have a waistline. So I was round. And I remember just feeling so bad about it because my uniform had to be different because my mom was very careful about how the uniform made me look. But then after some time, I became small. And now the concern started becoming, you've become so small. And I was just thinking about it the other day and I was like, there's really never going to be a time when everyone is going to be content with how you are.
Sure.
If you actually think about it, you'll be big, people will say, hey, you're big. You'll become small, hey, you become small. And there will be something to be said every other day. And so I would like us to close with this. How then do you take care of yourself? What then is your part to play for yourself and for the other person? Because come what may, even just in life, someone will be like, oh, umemaliza shule, oh, unaolewa lini, oh, watoto, oh, ulikuwa upate mtoto mmoja tu. Like, there will always be something being thrown at you. So the responsibility comes back to you as an individual. And even scripture tells us that guard your heart. Like that, it is your responsibility to guard your own heart. So how then do you What is your part to play as an individual? You can start from you, Benja.
First and foremost, there is only you. God did not create you and a substitute and another substitute.
Yeah.
There is only you. And that place that in the Bible that we are fearfully and wonderfully made stands true. Leave the coinage and you know the slang and everything mtaa has made it become that kuna wale wako more fearfully than wonderfully. Leave that thing alone. It is you are unique to God and to yourself. And Proverbs 4, above all
Everything
things,
else,
guard your heart. What you believe. Jesus was like, it is not what goes into someone. It is what comes out that makes them unclean. And the heart is about what you believe.
Yeah.
What you believe. What content are you feeding on? What competition are you competing in? Are you competing against people because you compare yourself to them? Are you in the gym because you want to look like so and so?
Yeah.
Are you, doing your degree, your 3rd degree?
Yeah.
Are you on your 4th master's because your competition, in quotes, has 6?
Yeah.
Or you need to prove a point
Yeah.
to someone who actually has no idea or doesn't even care. Are you trying to prove a point to someone? So it is for you to say, I am me. This is the standard by which I will live in. And it would be a great thing if the standard you choose to live by is the God standard. It would be a great thing for you.
Yeah.
If you choose the God standard to be your standard, that would set you apart. Even the Bible says, come out from among them. Who are them? The people who have chosen the world standard.
Yeah.
So come out and be different. How different? Graced different. Be the person who says, yes, I am a bit round around, my waist.
Yeah.
And I think I can work on it.
Yeah.
For me. I want,
just for your own self.
for me,
Yeah.
I want to look at myself and feel good. Not for anything, not for anyone to give me a compliment,
Yeah.
but for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it begins with your heart and your resolve. Baby steps, people. Baby steps. So that you can come out of it. Nobody will lose half their weight in a month.
Yeah.
So if you started gymming because from within yourself you feel the need to look a certain way from within yourself, not against someone's competition.
Yeah.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
And even as you're speaking, I'm just thinking about there's something that I was thinking about the other day. What if you will actually not lose your weight because there is a purpose attached to you being the size that you are? Because there are people out there who are plus size ambassadors, so to speak, and they help younger girls be able to embrace their bodies and everything. So what if you are not going to lose your weight because that is the path you're supposed to go? Does that mean then now your life is miserable? No, it's actually the place where you are supposed to be. You could be fit, but your weight is still a bit more than what other people would prefer.
Thank you, Joanne. I think you're emphasizing both of you the fact that yes, let's be fit, but be fit with the right purpose.
Yeah.
I like the fact that these days people have started really talking about becoming the best version of yourself.
Yes.
And I think that really puts it well, that compete against yourself.
Yes.
Keep growing. When you look at the other person, desire maybe to grow because that's still an area you're interested in.
Yeah.
And not because I want to be comparing myself, because every human being wants to grow and to look good, so look good for your own sake without thinking too much about the other. As much as I know at one point or another you always think about the other person, but begin with self. When it comes to careers, when Benjamin was talking about sometimes it's because you're in a career and some people seem to be doing better, and that's when we come back and say, is this a career that you really want to be in? Because sometimes, for example, if you're in HR, Joanne, and I'm in admin, and I want to be like you in HR, I may join HR and I find I'm struggling because I'm more gifted in admin. And so you'll find that always, maybe a boss is always praising the way you do your HR. Because I decided to also join HR, comparison, because of you. But remember, this is your strength, not my strength. And so I'll always be struggling because that's not my point of strength. But if I had concentrated on admin, I would also be possibly as thriving. Because that is my point of strength. So again, review its career. Am I in it because this is where I'm gifted? Or am I in it because I saw somebody took up this, I think they're doing great, and I want to be there? And I want to say that there's a gentleman called Dan Mugera, who talks about the scarcity mentality, where he talks to people about We even want to start businesses because my friend has started a business. I want to get the jewelry because you're in jewels. You know? And he says, we are striving for bread without realizing the bakery that is in each one of us. There's so much in potential in each one that if only we could go out and look at ourselves, we would find we have a whole bakery and we don't have to just keep comparing ourselves to others.
That is very important, and I cannot emphasize more on being graced different. The grace that I have been accorded to live my life is different from the grace that has been given to you. And God did not create anyone for no reason. Like he did not just feel like, let me just put this one here. No. So whatever you have been graced to do, prosper in that. It is perfect in the eyes of God. So thank you so much for joining us. We really always look forward to your response, to your feedback, to your comments. So please do that in the comment section. Whatever you may have to share, whatever questions you may have, we are open to having that discussion. And don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Until next time, bye-bye.